the stars hold the secret to human destiny? Are fate and fortune determined by the planets? Examine the ancient art of foretelling the future through astrology, here on Ancient Mysteries. It's one of the stories of the ages, one of the ancient mysteries.
Before we unlock the future, we must find the keys to the past. I'm Leonard Nimoy. Join us as we open the door to Ancient Mysteries, beginning now.
Since the beginning of time, humanity has looked to the heavens for the answers to earthly problems. Do the movements of the stars and planets hold the secrets to human destiny? Can the patterns of the stars reflect the hidden character of individuals based on the date and time of their birth? Astrology, predicting the future by the movements of celestial bodies, has been with us for over 4,000 years. Today, science denies any validity to astrology. Yet for countless centuries, millions of people have believed in it. They point to tantalizing evidence from history. In the mid-1930s, some believe a German astrologer predicted the rise of Hitler, a decade before he came to power. Centuries earlier, during the Renaissance, a visionary is said to have foretold that the imprisoned Princess Elizabeth would someday sit on the throne of England. Scholars now examine how a belief in astrology may have led 3 wise men to follow the Star of Bethlehem. Modern science is subjecting astrology to closer scrutiny than ever, with sometimes startling results. Is belief in the power of the stars merely a baseless superstition, or one of mankind's oldest truths? Before the art of astrology was developed, ancient people relied on a basic knowledge of the stars and planets for their very survival. Many sites around the world speak of astrology's earliest beginnings.
The origins of astrology might even go back more than 20,000 years into the Paleolithic, because there are carvings on bones and other objects that indicate perhaps early interest in lunar tallies, the motions of the moon.
The astrology practiced today was born over 4,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq. Ancient civilizations in the region created some of the world's first cities and developed early agriculture. They were also among the first to turn sky watching into a codified system of astrology, a method which remains basically unchanged even now. The Babylonian system of astrology might have been lost forever if Alexander the Great had not taken its study back to Greece after his conquest of Mesopotamia.
When Alexander the Great invaded the East in 331 BC, this was a momentous event because he introduced Babylonian astrology to the Greeks and Greek mathematics and observational astronomy to the Babylonians. And the result was basically what we know today as astrology.
Babylonian priests saw astrology as the works of the gods. Later, Greek philosophers applied astrology to reveal individual character and personality. By the dawn of Christianity, the Roman Empire had succeeded the Greek and inherited its passion for astrology. As the Romans marched through Europe, astrology went with them. But historians often wonder why astrology was readily embraced by so many. Society easily accepted it. For peasants, to emperors. One Roman ruler would select his astrologers by subjecting candidates to a test that could cost them their lives.
There is a very curious and quaint story about Tiberius Caesar hiring his personal astrologer named Thrasyllus. Tiberius tested his astrologers in a very peculiar way. What he would do is submit them to a test, and if they didn't pass the test, he would throw them off the cliff. Thrasyllus looked at the chart and trembled and said, "I see that I am in imminent danger of death, O Caesar. I know not from what cause." And Caesar said the equivalent in Latin of "you're hired." And Thrasyllus served Tiberius for the rest of Tiberius' life.
While a fascination with astrology thrives in Europe, other cultures around the world also study the prophetic patterns of the stars. Chinese scholars devised an elaborate form of astrology based on associating each year with a particular animal. Constellation charts kept by stargazers for Chinese emperors are some of the earliest astrological artifacts ever discovered. On the other side of the world, the ancient Maya of Mexico and Guatemala create an elaborate calendar with incredible accuracy.
The ancient Maya developed probably the world's most elaborate astronomical and calendrical system. The day that you were born in the Maya 260-day calendar contained your fortune, contained your fate for the rest of your life, and you took part of your name from the day that you were born in this calendar.
While the chronological accuracy of the Mayan calendar is well known to archaeologists, much more mysterious is the Mayan system of prophecy. In the early 16th century, it is predicted that bearded, light-skinned visitors will arrive from the east, but the specific time of their expected appearance lies years in the future. The Maya lived to see the prophecy fulfilled. In 1519, exactly as predicted, bearded, light-skinned people from the east set foot on the shores of Mexico. They are the conquistadors from Spain. The Mayan calendar may also hold a disturbing prophecy for the modern world. Over 2,000 years ago, Mayan astrologers calculate the date of the end of the world, a doomsday which is believed will take place in our own time. The Maya determined that the universe is destroyed and then recreated in regular cycles, once every 5,000 years.
This great 5,000-year cycle comes to an end soon. Probably most of us will live to see this. The date should be about December 21st, 2012. And although the ancient classic Maya civilization came to an end in roughly the 9th century AD, if those calendar priests were here to see it today, they would probably expect that in 2012, around the winter solstice, that our cosmos as we perceive it would come to an end and some profound new order would be established.
Did Mayan astrologers foresee a catastrophe as yet undetected by modern science? It is an ancient riddle to which the answer may soon be known. The Romans and Mayans were not the only ancient people to see signs written in the stars. Even sacred texts bear reference to the influence of astrology. Did the heavens foretell the coming of Jesus? What is the Star of Bethlehem that is said to herald his birth?